Good afternoon, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. And today we'll be talking about it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And we're talking about the money game. Okay, we're talking about the money game. And before we have this live stream, I want to get your mind in a particular place. I don't want to tell you, I don't want to give it off quite yet, but I want to put your mind in a area for you to think on. So you can have those real deep thoughts, like where you just think so much, you think so deep that you've never had before. So in order to do that, I'm gonna give you some quotes by a famous philosopher. His name is Plato. A lot of you know Plato, Socrates, and then we also have our black philosophers like your Cornel West and your Michael Dysons, etc., right? Those new age philosophers. But a lot of these quotes are coming from Plato, and this is all to put your mind in a particular place. And then we're going to get into a marathon, not a sprint, talking about the money game, okay? So I'm going to just read a bunch of random of them, and then we're going to get into the video. He who's not a good servant will not be a good master. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can't help and what they cannot help. I never did anything worth doing by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by work. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Science is nothing but perception. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. No one ever teaches well who wants to teach, or governs well who wants to govern. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Attention to health is life's greatest hindrance. Courage is a kind of salvation. Poetry is nearer to virtual truth than history. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. I'm going to read that one again. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. And last but not least, knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. It's a marathon, not a sprint, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite simple. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But see, a lot of times people ask me about making money at a particular rate, and that rate is fast. Now, let's think about fast, okay? To someone, fast could be tomorrow, right now, an hour, 2 days, 3 days a week, a month, 4 days, 5 months, 6 months. It just depends. What is fast to you? When someone say, I have a great way for you to make money fast. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? So when people use this word, I don't know where it's deriving from. Okay, I have no recollection of what they mean by making money fast. And I thought about it. There's really no ways to make money fast, but maybe I'm improperly informed about what fast really is. There is no definition that could probably help me get into a space of what fast is. Hey, Ross World, I need to make money fast. I want to make money fast. And I'm like, well, most people, I'm thinking they want to make a certain amount of money within a year. But I'm thinking, what if somebody, for them, fast is 15 years, fast is 20 years, right? Because slow and fast are relative to the person, right? It's relative to the person, meaning that I can't tell you how fast you are making money or not making money because that's according to your own measuring. Are we understanding, getting into the mind space of that? Now, granted, if there is a measuring stick, if there is a distance, if there is a set time, then we can equate what is fast, what is slow when it comes to making money. If you say, I want to make $1 million within 10 years, then relative to me, I might say, well, that's fast according to the information I have. Then you may say it's actually slow according to the information you have. But with any information I give, I like to give ideas. I like to give avenues of ways that you can make money, right? But again, ladies and gentlemen, I really want you to reach deep inside the mind space, because we understand the first thing you need in order to make money is the financial thought. And what does it mean psychologically? See, a lot of times, like, oh, I don't want to get into all that mumbo jumbo. I don't want to. It's not science, okay? It's not science. These things are applicable to you. You just need to be in the right mind space, right? We understand the perception is built upon what you think because of your experience, your knowledge, your intelligence, the way you was raised, what you've been through. It's all perceived the way you look at it. So I necessarily can't say that 10 years is fast or 10 years is slow, because it's relative to the person and how they perceive it. I know, right? Kind of deep there. But here's the thing. You want to make money fast? I got one. Liquidate your assets. Liquidate your assets. That means sell everything you got. Empty out your 401k, empty out your IRA, because you want to make money fast. Okay, now you got the money fast. What you going to do with it? And some of these will be good ideas that I'll give you, and some of these will be horrible ideas. Now, the first one is a horrible idea. Making money fast. You want to make money fast? Liquidate your assets. Now you got it. Now what? Now what? What you going to do with it? You want to buy a car? You want to buy a house? You want to buy rims? Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going on, King? What you want to do? All right, we get into the headspace today, ladies and gentlemen. But I got some good ones. Take an odd job. You always hear me talk about side hustles. You always hear me talking about the gig economy. That's the term that people are using for side hustle. Side hustle sounds better. I know some hustlers, but they didn't do it on the side. It was their everyday job out there on the corner. Now, if you don't know anything about me, I'm from Washington, D.C., Southeast D.C. Went to school in Northwest D.C., if you know anything about D.C. And I never knew what a side hustle. Only time someone said hustle, they were talking about selling drugs. And you know what? Here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. My link is in the description for my t-shirts. And I have a side hustle shirt. Matter of fact, it came in the mail today. Of course, I'm going to be, trying to sell my t-shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my shirt. My money makes money on the front. And then I got side hustle on the back with the Roswell emblem right here at the top, okay, by the neck. Side hustle on the back. Mine makes money on my, they're very bold shirts. My first two shirts are very bold, but got with my designer, and we're going to make some more exquisite pieces. We're going to tone it down a little bit. But the reason why my first two shirts are very bold, because I'm a very bold person. But when you talk about my money makes money, I want everybody to see that, because it's subliminal messaging, okay? Subliminal messaging, or you can help somebody out just by reading a shirt. You ever read a shirt and you was like, what does that mean? Or you want to go talk to that person, but it helped you. Okay, I'm off of it. Take an odd job, have a side hustle. Do something in the gig economy. And I gave out some of these yesterday and the day before. And I always give out side hustles because there's so many things that you can do all your extra time. And what I was talking about is like be a, Lyft driver, Uber driver. They got a freelance driver out now. You can deliver food, groceries, whatever it may be. There's so many ways to make money, but this is a marathon, not a sprint. I told you, I'm going to contradict myself all day long because I want to give you good information and bad information because some of you want to make fast relative and according to your own perception. Now, if you didn't catch the beginning of this video, I advise you to scroll back a little bit and look at it because I gave some quotes by Plato to get you in a space where you're using your mind and your thoughts, right? A lot of times we don't use our brains. We don't. Right? We don't. Scientists say that most of us use somewhere between 5 and 8% of our brain, and that Einstein used 15% of our brain. Wait a minute. If we're only using 10% of our brain, what is the other 90% doing? Is it recalling thoughts and memories? See, when we're talking about making money, and none of us really can't make money, okay? I know I say my money makes money, but that's true. I necessarily can't make money unless I work at the U.S. Mint and I'm pressing and I'm making money. But when you say my money makes money, that means my money is somewhere being invested somewhere and it's appreciating. Then all of a sudden, I look at my account, there's more money. How did my money makes money? I want you guys to really think about what I'm saying today. I'm getting into that headspace. How about this? Now, I like to give wacky ideas sometimes because that really separates, in my opinion, intelligence to someone who's not. Okay, I won't call no one stupid. Or someone who is informative versus someone who's not informative. What about this? If you live in a house, apartment, a condo, a trailer, whatever it may be, you ever just thought about looking around your house for money? How many times did you hang up a pair of jeans and put on them jeans? You like $20? There was a study that came out that said, according in America, that most households have at least $90 in them that nobody knows about. Either it's in the drawer, a dresser, underneath something, a coin here, a dollar there, a penny there, a dime here. You leaving money inside of a coat jacket, a suit jacket, a purse that, women be having multiple purses. Have you ever just looked through all that because you need some money? You ever just went through all your stuff? There's multiple times that I've kept cash in my pockets and did not know I had money in there. I'm like, oh, where does $5 come from? And I'm thinking about where the $5 come from, but quite frankly, it doesn't matter where the $5 come from because I'm going to spend it anyway. Here's another one. What about a garage sale? Anybody ever think about that? Now, some of you might have, maybe you live in an apartment, maybe you live in a condo, but if you have a friend with a house, ask them, hey man, I got a lot of stuff in storage. Can I do a garage sale at your home? Oh yeah, man, yeah. What day you want to do it? My wife wanted to plant some flowers. Or vice versa, okay, or vice versa. It doesn't matter, but my thing is this. What about a garage sale? These are good ideas. Now, the first idea I gave, I know you're like, why would you tell me to do that? Because you want to make money fast, don't you? Then liquidate all your assets. Sell everything you got. Empty out your 401k. Empty out your Roth IRA. Cash in all your investments in stocks and bonds. Whatever you may have. You want to make, now you got money. What you going to do now? Well, I was meaning making money fast so I can save up. Then you don't need to make it as fast as you think you may need it. Just a thought. Now, and I did this before, ladies and gentlemen. This next one, I've done this before. And I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea at the time. I'm still thinking about the decision I made long ago. Borrow from your 401k. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? Now, a lot of financial advisors or fiduciaries or accountants or people in financial management or people of the group of the financial intelligence, I don't know what they'll say about this one. I'm going to say it depends. Borrowing from your 401k or from your Roth IRA or traditional, whatever you may have, I don't know if it's a good idea. And the reason why I say that is because if you are younger than the age of 59 and a half, you will get penalized, right? You will be taxed, you'll get penalized, you'll pay some sort of fee for borrowing against your 401k. It could be a good idea, right? It's your money you're borrowing against, but you have to pay a fee. I wonder what that fee may be, but it's your own money. And what if you are starting a business that, because you started that business when you did, you made that money back times 2, times 3, times 4. And you paid back your 401k, everything is back on track. But what if the business falls through? See, that's why it's, you know, it can teeter, it can totter, it can weigh each way. Like, I don't really know what to tell people about that. I'll just say, if you're going to take money out your 401k, you better have a damn good plan on why you're doing it and a plan to be back on track with your finances. Because if all else fails, at least you have something to fall back on. I wonder if that's a good idea, borrowing against your 401k. Let me read your comments really quickly. Say, okay. Hey, Miss Curly Girl, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I love when you show up. You are a great moderator. I do appreciate you. Let's see here. Dre makes, okay. I'm in Florida, Miss Curly. Oh, you guys are having a conversation. Okay. Dre Mike says, bad idea because you have to pay that money back, of course. All right, so I'm gonna move right along, ladies and gentlemen. What about this? Here's another one. Now, this one, in my opinion, is totally dangerous. It's dangerous in a sense of your health. It depends on where you health. What about selling your plasma? Yeah, people get paid to sell their plasma. Now, I don't know how much it really is, but your plasma is going to be collected in some sort of container, and there's some safety protocols they go into that. But most healthy people can donate plasma, I guess, once every 2 or 3 months or something like that. I don't know, but here's the thing: you want to make money fast. You said, you know what? I don't want to deliver no food. I don't want to do no damn Uber or Lyft. I don't want to show nobody do with groceries. I just need another way to make money, and I don't want to do too much. Sell your plasma. What about this? I thought about this too. Is at one point in my life where I was like, I want a certain amount of money, so I'm willing to do medical research testing, right? Medical research testing. But the problem with that is that you sign a waiver form, meaning that whatever happens, basically. Like if they test you for gonorrhea, they try to come out with a new pill for gonorrhea, they may have to give you gonorrhea. Now there's a cure for gonorrhea, but they may try to come out with a different method. Or they may say, you know what? We're going to give you a small case of Ebola. I mean, here's the thing. In order to test healthy people, they're going to test you prior to, and then they're going to inject you with whatever they have and try to cure something, right? Women do it all the time, and I'm going to tell you why. Women will go out to these research labs, and they will get be tested on for contraceptions or birth control pills. They do it all the time. Now, a lot of these women go through great suffering because some of these birth control pills do a lot to a woman's body. But that is the reason for the research. It's like you're the sacrificial lamb to help women out from years that they're going through this research and try to perfect a drug. Women may have heavy bleeding. Okay. Women may retain water, which makes them look, extremely large, extremely fat, overweight, because these birth control pills like the Depo shots, stuff like that. But there's been women that has been susceptible to these because of money. These are the things that money makes you drive yourself to. And these research and science companies, they know if we keep people in a lower income class, then we're always going to have test subjects. You ever heard somebody, I just want to be a test dummy? I just want to be in a research lab being tested on? Now there are some good studies that you can probably do, right? A good study may be sleep apnea or insomnia, where they're hooking up different apparatuses to you, or they're trying to make an advanced machine dealing with today's technology with innovation for you to breathe better at night. But then they have the flip side of that, where I heard a study that you have to stay in bed for 30 days. Like, you can't get out of bed. You have to take a dump in the bed, pee in the bed. They bring pans to you. And this is all to try to solve bed bugs, or not bed bugs. I'm silly. I'm so silly. Not bed bugs, but the bed sores. Yeah, the bed sores for patients who may be paralyzed. They're trying to come out with creams and massage routines and all these other methods in order to solve that. So those are the safer ones, because at the end of the day, if I'm just in bed 30 days and I can't do more than 5 days, I can just get up and leave. But the problem is, you may get a partial payment, or you may not get all of your payment. But is this a good idea? I mean, other than the safe ones? Nah. Part with my plasma? Nah, dog, I'm good. Nah, I like all my plasma. I don't know where you get it from, out of my back, out of my spine. I only need to do the research. But I know that if you're taking something out, and I know that plasma builds back up, how's that going to make me feel? Is that going to have like life-threatening effects on me later? I mean, blood I'm okay with. You know, I'll give you a little test tube of blood, maybe do a little blood transfusion. You give me some cookies, some celery, I don't know. I'll get that back. But plasma takes a while to build back up from what I know. So you want to part with your plasma? You want to liquidate your asset? These are all bad ideas, in my opinion. Borrowed against your 401k, I'm on the fence. But you say you want to make money fast. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I told you, deep thought. We need to think about the things that I'm saying, because I'm saying more than when I'm actually saying. I'm going to say it again. I am saying more than what I am actually saying. You'll get it. Borrow money for friends. Is that a good idea? Borrow money from friends. I got a report here. It says, this is according to bank rate, okay? That's bank rate. They did a study. They said of 62, it says according to the bank rate study, of the 62% of people who can't afford to cover a financial emergency, 28% said they would either borrow money from family or friends or use their credit cards. Now, if those are my three sources, okay? If those are my three sources, credit card is the last one. The credit card is the last one. And some of you are going to say, well, I'll just use my credit card because I know I pay that off, because I don't want to depend on nobody. I don't want to use a friend. I don't want to use a family, because that can turn dirty. It can only turn bad. It can only turn dirty if you borrow money and you give them a date and you don't pay it back. But 9 times out of 10, 99.9 times out of 100, that friend, that family member is going to give you an interest-free loan. An interest-free loan. Now, me personally, because of what I think I know about my family, because I'm not in their pockets, right? I don't know how much income they have, how much savings they have. That would be my second choice. Now, I know how my friends are doing. I have a lot of friends that may, keyword, may let me borrow some money. Now, I have one friend in particular who is a millionaire, who lives right here in Washington State with me. He will actually loan me the money. No questions asked. He's done it before, right? I was on hard times. I had to borrow $500. And he said, when do you need it? And I was like, I need it here. He said, okay, meet me here. I'll go to the ATM. I'll give you the money. Just like that, interest free. And I said, and you know, I'm just like any person, when I say any black person, when you borrow money, it's kind of like, I don't know if we turn into crackheads. And there's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason for that. Now, unfortunately, I grew up in a crackhead neighborhood where a lot of people around the block was from, you know, they was off of cocaine. They was off the crack rock. This is in Southeast DC. And the reason why I say I don't know if we turn into crackheads when we borrow money from people, we kind of go into the saying like, oh, thanks, man. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Just saved my life. I'm going to pay you back. I swear to God, I'm going to pay you back, man. I swear. You know what? As soon as I get paid, I'm going to pay you back. I promise. We kind of do something on those lines. Maybe not exactly how I do it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll suck you. No. But the point I'm making is we show that gratitude, right? Oh, thanks, man. Oh, man, I show you. And then it's always once you get that money from that particular person, you are struggling with, you are dealing with, like trying to detach, like, oh, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, okay. Because it's like you feel guilty, you feel bad, and then you feel obligated, right? Because you got to pay that money back. But borrow money from friends is a choice. So in my opinion, if they say family, friends, and a credit card, me personally, I would do friends, family, and then my credit card would be my absolute last choice, because credit cards, we know anywhere from 15% to 28% of interest, where family and friends can actually be zero, okay? Actually be zero. So that's something to really think about. We have to get into what does it mean to you when it comes to being part of a marathon making money and being part of a sprint making money. Because quite frankly, you can sell a lot of things at your garage sale. If you don't want to do the garage sale, you can do offer up and let it go. Those are two applications that you can post your furniture, items, electronics on and make some quick cash, right? You just have to pretty much lowball yourself in order to move those items for how much money you need. Now, the reason why I say I'm on the fence about a 401k, what if you needed a large amount of cash for whatever reason, a death in the family, you wanted to buy a house, you tired of living with your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, or you're about to get put out, whatever, but you have a 401k or a Roth IRA. So it can be on the fence because sometimes you may just need that money to save your life. I don't know. That's why I say I'm on the fence about borrowing from your 401k, because I tell you one thing, if you have a 401k and you're like, I'm not going to my 401k for nothing, and you get put out, so you would be homeless with your 401k? I know I won't. No. I need some sort of roof or a blanket or something over my head, okay? So I can go to sleep at night. That's just me. But when we're talking about a marathon, not a sprint, okay? Marathon, not a sprint. But before I get into the next segment here, I'm going to read some of your notes. And then I'm going to show you my t-shirt. Got to do that. Thank you for posting my email, Miss Curly Girl. I appreciate that. Miss Curly Girl says, no medical testing, loud, have mercy. Dre Mike says, here in Florida, you can get like $60 if you donate twice a week. 100, wait a minute. I'm not that good in math, but let me. Oh, my Lord. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you do that 4 times a month, that's $480, Mike. And then if you times that by 2, you $40 away from $1,000 extra. But how is it going to make you feel, Mike, if you're doing medical testing? How's it going to make you feel? Are you going to live long enough to spend that money? I'm just saying. Anyway, Willie Mae said, peace, Columbia, South Carolina. Okay. Mike said, oh, hell no, I'm not being a guinea pig. I'll take the turtle money. Donate plasma, yeah, but give me something to make me sick. I'll pass on that, okay? He also says, tell me that to MJ DeMarco, the millionaire fast lane. Not paying it where people fall all about money. And then Dre Mike also says, in fact, I sold crack back in the early 90s and co-founded a gang. Got nothing but a record to show for it. What sort of record? Like, what record are you referring to? Like a track record? Like you broke a track record? Or you played? No, I'm kidding. I know what type of record you're talking about. So stupid. I'm being silly today, guys. But anyway, let's move on to the next segment that I'm going to get into. But before, I'm going to go ahead and market my t-shirts because you know how your boy is. Again, this is the new shirt. My Money Makes Money on the front. And then Side Hustle on the back with the Ross World logo right there in the center of the neck. Now, again, the 2 first designs are very bold, but we're coming up with new designs that are going to be a little more exquisite. They're going to be smaller, and they're going to be a little more stylish. Okay, they're going to be a little more stylish, but that is actually okay. There's no problem. There's no problem. All right, marathon, not a sprint. Now if you go back to my motivation video, we talked about a lot of ways about the people you surround yourself, but let's dig a little deeper into relationship. Yes, relationship. Who are you with? Who are your friends? Let's talk about your mother and father, or your mother or your father, whoever raised you, your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle. Like me, I was mostly raised, well, my mother raised me for the first 12 years before her passing. Then I went into a group home, and then I got out the group home. Then I lived with my aunt. Then I went back into the group home because my aunt at the time was selling drugs. And that's a whole nother story I have to give you guys one day. Yeah, I come from a family of drug dealers. I made a sale. I won't tell you what type of sale. I won't say I made a drug sale, because then I'll be incriminating myself. And I don't know the statute of limitations on if you telling yourself. So I made a sale. I'm not going to tell you what I sold. I could have sold a pair of socks. I could have sold a t-shirt. I'm just going to say I made a sale. But I made one. That was it. And I knew that it wasn't for me. Okay? I didn't like the fact that I'm out here on a corner selling whatever I'm selling. And, you know, the group I was with, okay, there was a gang I was a part of that I was an inactive member, because I didn't do none of the gang related activities, or as someone of my stature would say, the entourage I was according myself with. I did not I did not participate in certain activities, but I did with that. And I didn't like that I just stood out there just waiting to be picked up, waiting to get shot. I just like, this is not smart. So I stopped. I got a real job. Started working for the man, whoever the man was at the time, but it was a job, you know, and I wasn't out there. But here's the thing. Who you are surrounding yourself with? Who is your entourage? Who is your significant other in your life? Because we talked about this similar during the motivation video. We talked about those people who are for your good and those people who are for your bad. If your significant other, right? Say for instance, you're a female, and you're with this guy or girl, however you swing, that's not my business. And the only thing they can ever have a conversation about is spending money. But soon as you talk about saving money, as soon as you're talking about getting out of debt, as soon as you're talking about investing your money, they're like, I ain't doing that. I can die any day. I always ask people, when you say that, what happens when you live the next day, the next year? It amazes me when those people say they don't want to save, they don't want to pay off their debt, they don't want to invest. Then you say, well, I don't understand what you're talking about. And you have to challenge them. It just depends on who the person is. Some people you shouldn't even waste your time with. But if you love this person, challenge their thinking. Challenge their thinking, right? You say, well, wait a minute. You don't want to invest. You don't want to save. You don't want to get out of debt. But then you plan a trip for November. It's January, but don't you have a trip planned in November? So you paid for that trip. So it sounds like to me, you're planning to live. So if you're planning to live in November, how about just invest in November? How about that? Because you already paid for the trip, or you're going to pay for the trip with your tax return or the money you saved up last year, but you have a trip planned. You're going to Aruba, you're going to Lake Coast, you're going to some deserted island, you're going to Rome, you're going to Africa, you're going to Australia, you're going to South America, you're going somewhere, but you planned a trip. So when you plan a trip, you plan on living. So if you plan on living, then why not invest and save your money and get out of debt? So you can save more money and invest more money because you're planning to live already. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like, we make plans, but we don't want to do the thing in case we live to be a certain age. But I can tell you one thing, I'm not planning to die. I'm planning to live. So if I'm planning to live, then I need to make plans, right? If I'm planning on taking a trip, if I'm planning to come over your house, then I might want to make plans in case I live longer than coming over your house. I told you, the things that I'm saying right now, they're much deeper than the surface than what you see it on. I want you to think beyond what I'm saying. I want you to really analyze what I'm saying to you, right? Because we make all of these plans, we think that making money is a sprint. Making money for most people is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Why do we think when people say they have their own business, they have a lot of money? Quite frankly, when you start up a business, okay, when you start up a business, case in point, for example, bam, when you start up a business, guess what happens? Startup costs. That's a lot of money. That's money some of this, just to make an LLC, wherever you're going to make that LLC at, there's different prices for different states, but it costs you money. When businesses first start off, right, they don't have any money. And if they do have money, maybe they are selling some sort of product and they have an investor, or they went into their retirement account, okay? They went in their retirement account, or they saved up for it. But a lot of times when a business first starts, they don't have any money. I want you to think deeper than what I'm actually saying. Let me get your brain back into space. I'm going to read some more quotes by Plato to you. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Woo! Plato, you were saying some stuff back in the day. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. To love rightly is to love what is orderly and beautiful in an educated and disciplined way. When there is income tax, the just man will pay more and the unjust less on the same amount of income. I don't agree, Plato. This is America. We got loopholes, baby. Excessive generally causes a reaction and produces a change in the opposite direction, whether it be in the seasons or individuals or in governments. They certainly give very strange names to diseases. That's a good one. How can you prove whether at this moment we are sleeping and all our thoughts are a dream, or whether we are awake and talking to one another in the waking state? Okay. There must always remain something that is agnostic to good. And I'm going to read one more. The most important part of education is proper training. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I always talk about reading books, doing your research. Why do I tell you to do that? Now, if any of you have ever been part of anything, I remember in high school, I was in a lot of things in high school, by the way. I was in the chess club. I was on the swim team. I was on the football team, track team, ROTC, you name it. I was only popular because I was in everything. But you guys are talking about money. We're talking about money. Marathon, not a sprint. And you guys want information on how to make money. But the first thing you need to do is you need to have information. And a lot of times when people through social media or through journals, we can only give you our biased opinion and some proven ways to make money. But the reason why I say go out and read certain books is because that information gave me the information to give you the information, so you will have information. I need for you to know that whatever I'm saying is actually deeper than what I'm saying right now. Are you asleep? Are you dreaming? Or are you awake? Moving right along. I want you to think about what I just said. But when you put this all in totality, you have to do your research and you have to read. Because what if somebody is giving you outdated information? What if somebody is not as keen or intellectual, knowledgeable about a particular subject that you think they are? So sometimes you have to trust but verify. Now that's a Russian proverb. You have to trust but verify. Now, granted, there are some people who always give you updated information like myself. I do my research, I give you the information, but I always say, hey, don't trust me, don't take my word for it. Go out and do it. Okay? Go on and do it, because sometimes I'm giving you information that you may never have heard of. Because we understand that money is a marathon, not a sprint. Unless you want to make money so fast, that you want to liquidate all your assets, that you want to borrow from one of your friends. You want to borrow from one of your 401ks. These are different ways that you can make money fast. Dre Mike said, I sometimes hang out with my old gang leader who's in the church and owns a detailing, pressure washing, and lawn maintenance. He also says, I had to cut a lot of people because I want to be financially free. Got accused of trying to be white. I'm going to come back to that. Mike. I had to make a whole set of new friends. Only few friends are in the stock market. You're right about that. Fast money don't last long, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Me too, debate team, track team. Take me back, Brother Ross. I was part of the debate team as well. If anybody knows me, I love to debate. And I may not know nothing about the subject we're talking about, but if I know one iota, I'm willing to debate. I love just getting into the mind space of me and other people. That's just who I am. I do a lot of reading and listen to audiobooks. Okay. Let's go back to this one, ladies and gentlemen, because I think this would be food for thought. He says, I had to cut off a lot of people because I wanted to be financially free. I was accused of being white. Now, quite frankly, Mike, I too have been accused of being white. Now, granted, 5'11", 40-year-old, dark skinned, 240-pound black man accused of trying to be white. First of all, scientifically, other than bleaching my skin, I can't change my genomes or my DNA or my RNA. I can't be white. I cannot be white. First of all. Second of all, it's the crab barrel syndrome. Anytime when some black people try to elevate themselves above what everybody else is thinking, they're trying to be white. Anytime you sound different, anytime you act different, anytime you dress different, you're trying to be white. You're like, no, I've been through this training. I went to this school. My way of thinking have changed. My thoughts have transformed to a higher existence. I think differently. I see differently. If anybody ever talked to me for more than 20 minutes, you're not a typical black guy. What's a typical black guy? I just need to listen to rap music, smoke weed, take shots, and slap women on their ass. Like, go ahead, girl, with that fat ass. I mean, what's typical? There's nothing typical about black people. And I've said this before. Some of the biggest white supremacists are black people. Because black people will bring down black people. But we will lift up everybody else. We will let everybody know they're doing better than us. All those rich white people over there. Them damn Asians are good. Them damn Asians are good at math. Them damn Mexicans, them Hispanics, they work their ass off. Wait a minute. If you think you're saying something negative about their race, that's positive. Those damn Hispanics are working their ass off. We should work our ass off. Those Asians are good at math. We should be good at math. All the white people got all the business. We should have our own businesses. Black people are some of the hugest white supremacists. Just think about it. Are you trying to be white? How? I'm wearing a suit going to work? Oh, because I don't speak with bass in my voice? Now, I know I got bass in my voice, but I talk to some black guys who don't have bass in their voice, and they sound like, me and John, we went out, we went to the comedy show. It was such a great time. I think was it Dave Chappelle? That's right, John, it was Dave Chappelle. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know. See, with some intelligent black people, and I hope everyone's intelligent in the chat room, but I don't know. What we have to understand is sometimes black people, we want to call them sellouts, right? And I want to make sure you change the notion on what you believe an Uncle Tom is in a Sambo. If you read Uncle Tom's Cabin, you will understand Uncle Tom was the actual guy that was for, he was a slave as well, but he was for the slaves. He was giving out cotton to the other slaves, and he actually helped people get to Canada, over 100 slaves. The Sambo was the guy that was ratting out all the slaves. Okay, he was snitching. He was a snitch bitch, right? So what we have to think about is this: because a brother or a black woman speaks as though that his balls are in a vice grip and he speaks in a high tone, he's trying to be white. Now that could be his natural voice. I don't know, because naturally black men have deep voices. That's just who we are. That's just, in our DNA and RNA, right? This is how we're structured. But you ever heard of the term code switching? I explained this to a guy on my job about code switching. You are you all the time. You just have different sides. You are you all the time. You just have different sides. And you have to figure out, in this white man's country that they took over from the Native Americans, that they made our ancestors work for, in order for you to cross between the lines, essentially, you have to learn how to code switch. And what that means is there's many different personalities, not personalities, that's a better word. There's different sides to Ross World than what you see on YouTube. There's a funny, a more animated Ross. There is a more professional Ross. There is a laid back, chilling Ross. There is a good, we all have these different sides. There is a interview on the job Ross. There is a job on a corporate America Ross. There is a military man Ross, right? There's so many different codes that I switch to depending on the platform or the area or the environment that I'm in. So they may say that you're acting white or trying to be white because you're code switching, because you are fitting into an environment and you might have to switch it on, and then when you come out, you switch it off. And some of you are going to use this. You're just being fake. Well, let me tell you something. If that's what you think, because you have to alter the person you are around your friends, then you are lying to yourself. Because here's the thing. The girlfriend or the boyfriend you may be to your entourage of people, if you're acting the same way on a job interview, you think you're going to get the job. Hey, girl, I'm here for this job interview. I know y'all going to give me the job. I done made it this far, right? I'm not saying that's you, but I don't know how you are with your friends. Yeah, shit, I'm here for that interview. Yeah, what was the question again? Shit, well, what I'll do is, if somebody have an issue, I tell them, shit, deal with it. And that's the thing, guys, right? It's not about being fake. It's about being intelligent. It's about being intelligent. And you have to code switch. So I hate the narrative that when people are intelligent, when black people want to do better, other black people say you're trying to be white or you an Oreo. Okay? I don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't get it. Let me read some of your notes. Miss Curly Girl says, money is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, thank you. Exactly. That's my point. Seems like Mike is the only one talking, ladies and gentlemen. That for me, I want to know how white people get rich in the stock market. Exactly. Let me tell you this, I'm going to move right along. You can learn from everybody, regardless of race. Regardless of race. I want you, see, my thing is this. If I have a white counterpart, if I have a white coworker or a buddy, I'm picking his brain to see what he knows. So I take that information with my information and have more information, because information is key to success. Now, the other part of success is knowing people, right? Knowing people. Because if black people were in this lower tier of income and white people are in a higher tier of income, then how do we transition information and knowledge and people that we know? Now, not every white person is racist or prejudiced. They might have their stereotypes just like we have our stereotypes. But I have friends who are white that I have never thought in my mind that they could ever be racist. Now, granted, it depends on location, time, place. If people were rounding up all black people and they're like, black people get shot and killed on sight, they're like, oh, well, I don't know him. I can understand that. It's about life and liberty. Like, if somebody said we're rounding up all white people, we're gonna kill all white people, I'll be like, yeah. Do you know him? I don't know him. And I understand that, all right? It's about only the strong will survive, and sometimes you gotta survive. But anyway, money is a marathon, not a sprint, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not doing the right thing by your finances, then your finances won't do the right thing by you, because eventually you're gonna get old, you're gonna get gray, and you're not going to have any money to fall back on, because right now you're spending all of your money, you're spending all of your wealth, and you're not doing the things to set yourself up for success. You're not doing the things to set yourself up for success. Is anyone investing? Raise your hand in the chat if anyone is investing in the stock market and precious metals, in commodities like beef and oil. If you are investing in something other than rims and cars and things of that nature, raise your hand. Like, let me know what you're investing. Are you investing in real estate? Are you investing in a REIT? See, we have to really deconstruct our minds and go really deep inside and understand, like, how do I feel about money? What do I do that I can show an example for myself in order for me to make more money or have more money or be free with money? What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Because some people come on my channel, right, and they're just looking for quick tips to get a lot of money. And then they get a lot more than what they asked for, and then they leave. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because you know what? At the end of the day, I want intelligent people who can really deconstruct complicated situations and complicating information and apply it to their life. Because when I tell you you should liquidate all your assets, some of you was like, oh, hell no. But you said you want fast money. And we understand that obtaining wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. I tell you, give your plasma. Go be a research test lab dummy, a lab rat, for them to test all sorts of diseases and pills and remedies. And some of you are like, hell no. Here's the thing. What are you doing right now in order to set yourself up and your loved ones up for success? Are you planning to spend all your money? Are you planning to waste all your tax return? You already have a plan for your tax return. And some of you are going to go out and you're going to buy a pair of tennis shoes. And some of you are going to go out and you're going to buy a purse. And I want to ask you this. The first question is, do you need it? Now, some of you may say, well, I need these shoes for an interview I have. I got it. It's an investment. Some of you are saying, well, I'm buying these new retro Jordans. I'm just going to call you stupid. Some of you are going to go out and spend money on your children. Then the question with that would be is, how profitable the things you're going to buy that child to increase their livelihood when they're old? Are you going to buy them products for them to understand the economy? I spoke to my son today. I was at the gym. I spoke to my son today. I told him, I love you, son. We need to be stronger in our communication. And he agreed as well. And I asked him, he's doing his first class of this semester. He goes to Elizabeth City College, HBCU. And I said, what are your classes that you have? And he told me. And one of them was Principle 2 of World Economics or something like that. I just know it was Principles 2 of Economics. And I said, son, I want you to get A's in all of your classes. But for this particular class about economics, if you get an A, I'm going to give you $250 for that A. And I said, because at the end of the day, I want you to get all A's. But this is the one class I want you to study. I want you to turn off the ringer to your phone. I want you to flip it over. I don't want you. These are just my wishes. I'm not telling him. He's a grown man. He's 20 years old. I'm just giving him advice of what he can do. Flip your phone over. Don't respond to the Twitter. Don't respond to the girls you're talking to or your friends or your guys. Study. This is the one class I really want you to not be distracted on, because when you learn economics, you learn how the world is ran. Because usually I told him every year I go up $5 of the money I give him for his grades. You don't get money for C's, you get money for A's and B's. When he was in high school, he would get $10 for an A, $5 for a B. His first year in college, everything went up. $15 for an A, $10 for a B. This year, his second year, they go up $20 for an A, $10 for a B. But for that one particular class, I'm giving him $250 if he makes an A. Because I want to give him an incentive for learning. Should I have to do that? No, I should not. But this is my way that I can teach my son economics on a worldwide level in a structured classroom where he's going to read up-to-date books to learn more than what I probably know. Because I'm reading journals, I'm reading books, but not on a classroom structure. And I really want him to get an A in that class. There are some other personal management classes he was talking about, but that one class can save his life. Because when he understands economics, when he understands statistics, and he understands mathematics, do you know that he can't go wrong? Because he knows how money is generated. That's what economics tells you. You understand GDPs of countries and how products and services run the country and exports and imports. These are things that he may learn. So when we're on this channel, we're talking about money, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you, the things I'm telling you is much deeper than what you think. And I want you to think on what we're talking about. It's just because you need to be on a higher plane of psychological level of the way you think about money. Because some of you are working hard for your money. Some of you break your necks for money. Some of you think that you need to have 3 and 4 or 5 jobs. Sometimes you may just need one job, a part-time job, or a side hustle for a short period of time. But what you're doing with that extra cash, are you investing it? Are you saving it? Do you have money for a rainy day? What's money for a rainy day? See, a rainy day is just not a rainy day. A rainy day is more like a rainy month, a rainy 3 month, a rainy year. We don't know tragedies and accidents that may occur in our lives that we may need this particular money. That's why I always tell you guys it's very important to surround yourself by friends and loved ones who you're going to conduct business with, who looks out for your good, not for your bad, who's going to inspire you and motivate you. See, I can do that from a distance. I can do that from a video. But the real transformation is when you're out and about in your everyday lives and you with those group of people, you with that special person, and they are encouraging you to do better. They said, you know what? Let me tell you how important money is. And you listening like this. Lose some weight. Eat better. Talk to people nicely. See, we just think that making money and gaining wealth is only about investing and saving. It's much, much more than that. And I gave you guys a lot of quotes from Plato to get you in the right mind state, in the right mind space because I told you what I'm talking about is much deeper than you can ever imagine. Did you know that being a good person can help you gain a lot more money? You ever thought that taking care of yourself, you live better, you live longer, can have you to make a lot more money? Did you know that everything encompassed in life is dealing around money? You wouldn't be able to see me right now if it wasn't about money you spent on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop, on your tablet. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want money to be the center of our lives, but we want to be financially free, but it has to be a big part of our lives in order to be there. Some of you just want enough. Some of you can't get enough. But regardless of which one you choose, you're going to have to think about money positively and do the things to set yourself up for success. And the one thing you can do is change your circle. Change your circle. You remember that old comedy? You got to be part of the circle of love and friends that will encourage you, inspire you, and motivate you to do better in every part of your life. Money is much more than what you think it is. Some of you are breaking your necks trying to make this mighty dollar, while other people are sitting back, drinking cognac, smoking a cigar, wearing the finest threads, looking good, smelling good, feeling good, while you are out there in the dirt, in the slums, in the cold, in your office, in your cubicle, being frustrated by people around you, people you work with, etc., 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 all because of the mighty dollar. So, how long do you want to do that? 20, 30, 40 years? See, when people use the term financially free, they mean that they don't have to work anymore. Financially free, some people may think I'm at a point where if I keep working, I'm going to be okay. But you're not financially free. You're depending on a paycheck. You're depending on income. What are you doing to set yourself up? The FIRE movement have some pros and some cons. Have some pros and some cons. Anybody heard of the FIRE movement? FIRE, FIRE. That's the whole retirement early thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where people are now retiring at the age of 40. They're retiring at the age of 50. Do you know that majority of the black population, we work until we die? Did you know that? Did you know that the Asian culture, Caucasian culture, the Indian culture, that they actually retire and go out and travel? That's why when you go out and travel, what do you see mostly? Unless you're going to Cancun or something. But if you're going to Aruba, you're going to all these places, you see old white people and old Asian people because they are living out their retirement. Because they did the things by their finances that they should have done when they were our age, 20, 30, and 40. They're not just using and spending their wealth. Yeah, they take yearly trips with their family, but majority of their income is going into savings, investing. And then when they retire, they have income coming in from their previous job, as well as money for their 401k and other investment avenues that they use. But we, whoever you may be, we have excuses over and over and over again. It's not time for excuses. You need a mind transformation because it's all about what you think. You don't make any decisions about money without having the thought first. When I go out and I buy me a fat old bag of chips, I thought about those chips. I didn't just mindlessly just grab a bag of chips. There is a small thought that come across. So a lot of things that you do with your finances every month, that you are killing your wealth for future generations and yourself, you have to consciously stop yourself. You have to consciously stop yourself. Right now, some of you are waiting to buy a new car when you get your tax return. You're going to use that tax return as well as your trade-in as a down payment. The first question I have for you is, the car you now have, one, is it working? Can you still drive it to and from work or whatever your schedule is? Two, if it is broke, how much will it take to fix it? Think about that, because when you go out and buy a new car, you have a new payment from anywhere from 3 to 6 years that you got to pay off that car. Whereas though your old hoopty or your old bucket or just your used car may take 2 to 3,000 to fix it all up, and it will last you another 5 to 10 years. But you would rather have a new car because you worked your butt off, right? Who cares? You're not financially at where you're supposed to be according to your own goals. See, you have goals for yourself, but you're not doing anything to set yourself up for success. Why are you working this hard just to go out and buy something that's going to tarnish all your savings, that's going to tarnish your wealth, that's going to decrease the amount of money you could be saving? Why would you do that? Is that a smart decision? I just don't know. Let me read some of your comments. Dread Mike says, sorry I got booted off. I invest in trade. You have to have positive attitude towards money. Money goes only where it's welcome. See, Miss Curly Girl said, yeah, I heard of that. And Mike says, my uncle only works when he wants. He owns a timeshare and real estate. Miss Curly Girl says, we have to do better as a people. Indeed, we do, Miss Curly Girl. And Dread Mike says, like Pastor Carter said to Dr. Kimbrough in his book, The Wealth Choice, either you can make money or you can make excuses. You can't do both. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, that's my time, because think about that. I'm going to leave you with that note. You can either make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. My money makes money. Learn money and be inspired. But you can't make money and make excuses. I'm out.